We have to have a talk about the fact that you may never be able to buy a home. You may never be able to afford the payment on a home with everything that's been going on. Since interest rates went up, the nation is experiencing now a massive crisis when it comes to in the insurance industry. People are losing some homes because they aren't carrying insurance. I'm watching people that own their house walk away from insurance and thinking they're going to self-insure. And I think that's going to lead to some tragedies around the nation when their house catches fire or some, heaven forbid, a flood or crazy things happen. But the nation is becoming so upset, so emotionally distraught because they can't afford a house. And they're like, when am I going to be able to afford a home? Well, I want to flip that on its head right now and tell you that you have in front of you the greatest opportunity in history to take advantage of one of the biggest real estate crashes. Actually, I believe it's going to be personally the largest in 90 years. And why do I say 90? Well, we haven't seen a boom in housing prices since before the Great Depression. When people started to speculate in the stock market after the Depression of 1920, and then they started to make money from investing and then buy assets, we saw assets explode in value back then on a percentage basis, relative to what they used to be. And then we saw a subsequent dump. But people don't understand how the Roaring 20s even started. And that was because the Federal Reserve moved in and stimulated the economy after the Depression of 1920. Sound familiar? Well, it should be, because it is wash, rinse, repeat. And the sad thing is, most Americans, I'm not joking, 90%, even probably 95% of Americans right now that are stressed out, frustrated, worried about inflation, about where our government's going right now, and even where, if you think about it, the fact that they're losing hope. 90%, 95% of those people are not going to be able to physically buy a house as this market comes down, because they are going to miss some type of payment, whether it be their credit card. And by the way, 90 days past due or 90-day delinquent credit card bills are spiking right now. Or they slow pay some utility bills. They get a collections notice, or they even get late payment fees start racking up. They are simply going to be out of the entire real estate market, which means there will be way more sellers than buyers. Now, right now, we are in that spot where the frustration is hitting peak levels. We're seeing it on social media, and we're seeing it everywhere. I mean, go and talk to one of your neighbors that simply just wants to sell their home. They're sitting on $250,000 in profit on their house, and they can't sell it simply because they can't afford the house next door. There's about to be this massive tapping into mortgages, into the second mortgage market. And why is that important? Because people that have felt trapped, and a lot of homeowners around the nation feel trapped. They want to move up. The people naturally want the velocity of real estate transactions. They constantly want to be moving up in this world, right? They want to move from the 2-bedroom place into a 3-bedroom because they're having kids, or because they just got into the 2-bedroom, right? What you're going to see is the government's about to open up second mortgages. And it is going to open up the floodgates to a bunch of people that have been upset, stressed out, pissed off, or whatever. They're going to dive in, borrow money against their home value, right? A lot of them will do debt restructuring. I'm all for that kind of stuff if the numbers work, so that they can get out of debt and never get back into that hole, right? But a lot of them are going to dive into cars and things that will make them feel good, upgrades their homes, things like that, because hey, it's just a $50,000 second. Sure, I'm paying 8.5% or 10%, but it's just going to be this one little loan. But it always turns into something bigger than that. And that's why I launched the new course, the Mortgage Master and the Mortgage Master Pro, because the investors one, because I want to be able to have you set up so much for success that when you think you can't afford it, you've already done all the pre-work over this next 4 or 5 months as everything starts crashing down. And you're now in a position where mortgage banks will be begging for your business. And the reason why is because you will be one of the very few that look amazing on paper. You will know exactly which mortgage product you should be going for so that you're set up for success and not failure. And you're not going to be part of the 95% of those sitting on the sideline watching. Those 95%ers are going to be amazing renters, trust me. And you're going to make a ton of money. I'm going to put a QR code up, I don't know, like right here. I don't know how this works. If you're watching from your TV, if you want to take advantage of that pre-filming discount, it's never going to be, once we stop the filming, all videos are edited, it's going up and it'll never be this price again. But the thing is that when people get frustrated and stressed out, they usually make irrational decisions. And that's another thing that I need to point out. Everybody says, well, hey, Ninja, if the real estate market's crashing and the banks are in trouble, how do you know that they're even going to give you a loan? Well, it's actually very, very simple. And it's so simple. And this is why I teach a specific way. Simple fundamentals, simple skills to change your paradigm. Banks will never go out of business altogether. We're always going to have a banking system. And when you start to realize that, you start thinking about this way, they only make money by taking your deposits and lending them out at interest, which means if they need to make money, they have to make loans. When things get tight, they do tighten up their standards. I have been a part of this cycle now twice when banks tighten up lending standards for mortgages. And I always was able, because of a hard lesson I learned when my wife was left in tears the first time I tried to buy a house, I learned how to be so amazing. My whole financial background, regardless of my or your income, I made myself look amazing, and banks were begging me to take their money, and not at high rates. To say that I'm about to completely change the way you do getting a mortgage and how you're going to save hundreds, if not thousands before closing, as of closing of your mortgage, and then tens of thousands of dollars in the future is an understatement. But that's the thing. People go, well, and that's that defeatist attitude based on a lack of knowledge. Oh, no, well, banks are going to crash, which I believe banks are going to hurt. The government's going to have to bail them out. There's going to be bail-ins. It's going to be ugly. Think about if you're prepared, you're chilling, waiting for this. You're identifying parts of cities you want to occupy, parts of America that you want to own. And then as of like what we're seeing right now, inventory is absolutely exploding. There's a town, an area, in Nevada that I've been looking at for some time. And I'm no joke, in the last 60 days, I've probably seen an increase in inventory of about 60%. And the $2 million homes right now, they're asking 1.2. And I'm getting pumped. Am I gonna buy right now? Absolutely not. Am I preparing my finances, my LLCs, all of the groundwork? 100% yes. And that's what you need to be doing, because banks will always absolutely need to loan money. But they're only going to have a very small group of people that they can loan to. So for everyone in California that is like, I'm never going to be able to afford a house. Yes, you are, if you're ready. If all the people in, all over the nation, they're like, what am I going to do? The payments are too high. Yeah, you know what's great? The payments are too high for all Americans, which means they're hitting a breaking point and they're going to start walking away. They're already walking away from car loans. We're already seeing banks stress out over the prime rate for good credit-worthy borrowers and raising those standards because they're going, we see a point where people with good credit are about to default on their car loans because it's getting so ugly right now. People are already walking away from credit card debt. We're going to see a surge in bankruptcy filings. And you need to understand that if you're not ready for this, if you're not ready to take action right now to start preparing those steps, you are going to be on the sidelines and you will be watching. As a matter of fact, type 1 if you're one of those people that are preparing. If you're one of those people that are preparing, you type 1. I want everyone to look at how many people are typing 1 and you go, you're going to watch them from the sidelines. And that would be an absolute travesty. in my opinion. They say luck favors the prepared. I say there's no such thing as luck. Zero. Gamblers say that. I'm lucky. There's no such thing as I'm lucky. That's what gamblers say. And regardless if it's gambling at the casino or it's gambling on at the stock market or even in the crypto market, you have to understand that there's no such thing as luck. Billionaires, multimillionaires, they will always tell you it took hard work and it took preparation. End of story. End of story. So that's the question. Are you going to be ready for this? Or are you going to sit on the sidelines and go, I can never afford a house? That's not what I'm about. Look, I'm doing the pre-launch, the pre-filming discount right now for Mortgage Master and Mortgage Master 2.0, the investor series. Mortgage Master is set up for you to absolutely dominate it when you walk into a bank, because you're going to have all of the knowledge of every loan product available to you in this nation. And you're going to be able to absolutely wow them when you show them your financial information. There's downloadable checklists and all that stuff. So for the first time home buyer or somebody that's already bought a home and you're about to refinance into a second or refinance your loan or there's issues there, I'm going to teach you everything about the mortgage industry. Then on the second series, which is the investor series, I'm going to show you how to squeeze every dime out of your balance sheet or your P&L for your business, for flipping real estate, for cash flowing real estate. I'm going to show you why you will never ever go for hard money or a private lender again. You will sit there and laugh. You will save tens of thousands of dollars. I will show you products everywhere from one single rental up to a 100-plex for and commercial, straight commercial. You want to go buy a Best Buy building and turn it into something else, renovate it into homes because they just closed down another branch or another Bed Bath & Beyond's closed. You want to buy that? I'm going to show you products that will blow your mind that are backed by the government. This is the most no-brainer deal I've ever heard of. I'm going to put that QR code up. It may have already been up. I don't know. I don't know where it is. But anyway, my point being is, once all the videos are done, edited and up, discount's over. I can't tell you if that's a week from now or if it's a couple weeks from now. I don't even know. There you go. I can tell you that over 50% of the videos have already been sent to the editor. I hope you got something out of this. Now let's go forth together and absolutely crush it. The Economic Ninja is out.